Hey there, good morning and welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here. Friends, this is the 25th of February 2026, and today's calendar seems to be the most consequential of this month. We have NVDA reporting after close. Also reporting today, we have TJX companies, Salesforce, Synopsys Software, Snowflake, and Lowe's. All of them are making their earnings out this evening, and that should give us a kind of read on consumer discretionary enterprise software and AI infrastructure, and maybe change the paradigm of the market, because right now, I think in the last 2 days, let us go back a little bit more. We had this scare that AI is going to drown out the software companies. So the software companies fell significantly. But in the last 2 days, the software companies have been regaining. So there are some kind of thought processes in the market which will get validated or invalidated today when we hear about the earnings and future projections of companies like Salesforce. And that could change the approach of the market. All of that could happen later this evening. With regard to NVIDIA, I don't know if it is a buy the rumor, sell the news event, because in case of NVIDIA, sometimes after the earnings it falls, sometimes after the earnings it goes up. We are already at elevated levels, so I do not know what's going to happen with NVIDIA. So just going to watch, stay in the sidelines, and see what happens. Also, on the economic side, the durable goods order print and weekly jobless claims data are due, and the broader S&P 500 needs a definitive close above the 50-day moving average to signal a genuine technical recovery, according to Charles Schwab. And whether that happens will likely be determined entirely by what Jensen Huang says about the Blackwell and Rubin demand outlook. And all that information we're going to get at after 4:30 p.m. after the market closes. So tomorrow will be an interesting day. So now, having said that, let us go to the S&P 500 futures chart, which is in front of us right now. And one of the things that worries me is that we are hitting the support, like this 100-day exponential. We have been hitting it very often, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So anytime after 5 hits, I would say that the chances of breaking down becomes much, much higher than bouncing back up again. Now, if you look at the 50-day exponential, you will see that we have breached it many times. So 50-day exponential doesn't seem to be a resilient stand at this point of time. So the question will be whether this validated resistance, which we have at 6,933.25, is going to push us back down. And if it pushes us down, will the 50-day exponential be able to provide support at 6,903.64 today? That is a big question. Market sentiment is bearish. MACD is bearish but almost neutral, and momentum is just above average. So things could go either way, and I suspect that NVIDIA earnings can give a little bit of a cheer, because if you are like me watching from the outside, you would see that there is nothing positive going on in the overall governance, either to improve the rule of law or to improve the operating conditions for the companies that we are investing in. And neither is anything positive happening in order to expand their market globally. In fact, quite the opposite is happening. And the respite that we got from tariff from the Supreme Court has been reversed back up. And after the SOTU, that is State of the Union address, I'm feeling that there isn't much going in favor of companies in the United States. They are running on their own strength and trying to grow against all odds. Now, how long can this sustain, given the fact that there are these finance companies, private finance companies, which are close to breaking down? And it is rumored that big banks had lent to these financial companies in order to keep their books clean. But if these financial companies like Blue Owl and all, who have been lending out to software companies and data centers, if they are not able to recover the money, it's definitely going to hit the banks. And we have removed a lot of safeguards that we had put in place after the GFC. So the question is, how does all of those things factor in for the economy? So the fundamentals, I think, are not that great right now. However, some enthusiasm can come out of the NVIDIA earnings, and also if some of the software companies show good results and they give an idea that AI is not totally taking over the software, or even if they communicate that software companies will use AI tools in order to deliver services more efficiently and thereby increase their margins, even though their top line may go down. That could be a change in the paradigm and bring back the software companies to the level where they need to be. So those are the things that I'm anticipating as we look forward. Now, let us look at the NASDAQ futures. Again, NASDAQ futures is just above the 100-day exponential moving average. It is weaker than the S&P 500. The 50-day exponential has been providing steady resistance. Market sentiment is bearish. MACD is neutral. Momentum is just below average. And NVIDIA can change that. Dollar index is down a little bit. It's been struggling to break through this very strong resistance, which happens to be at 97.890. Which is coordinating with the 50-day exponential at 97.884. So together, they are providing a very strong resistance. And one of the theories that I have been thinking about is that as the dollar index goes weak, the stock market values go up. And that is because foreign investors are looking at more dollars being converted from their currency when they buy American stocks. So the American stocks look cheaper to them when they look at it from their vantage point. And therefore, the stock market could go up, which conversely means that if the dollar index starts going down, then I think we'll have a different situation. If the dollar index starts going up, then we'll have a different situation because foreign investors will get fewer dollars when they convert the money to push in money into the market. So that is the time when they would like to take the money out of the market because they'll get more domestic currency. So those dynamics could start playing out at certain levels. I suspect that that is the 97.884 level, which we are struggling to breach because once we go above this, I am suspecting that the markets will start going down. We'll test it out. Every day is a learning experience. Wix has fallen below 20%, and it's starting to look pretty decent right now. But it is still on a bull channel marked by this diagonal line of support. As long as that is the case, the market will still be volatile. Gold is starting to move back up again. It opened above where it closed yesterday, and it's continuing to move upwards. And the task for it today will be to break above 5,250.234 and potentially close at that level so that we can be confident that we are moving above. Now, I want to also draw another line out here to show a new trend line. This is a new trend line. There's a bull channel that we are looking at. And I think that is going to give us support going forward for gold. Now, having said that, let's go on to have a look at AI. We have NVIDIA. NVIDIA is positive this morning. It has gained around 0.79%. That is $1.53. We have resistance at 195.82. Are we going to break this resistance today? Everything depends on the earnings that come out later during the day. And for today, I'm expecting that the actual candle that will be formed is most likely to be a doji candle with 2 weeks and a small body in the center because the earnings are coming at 4:30. So tomorrow we'll have a clear decision on which direction we are going. And the after hours market will see the initial action. So if NVIDIA stock goes up and in the after hours it gains a lot more, I would try to buy NVDS as a contrarian play for a very short trade. Maybe the morning itself, the next morning itself, I would like to sell that out. That is one idea I'm thinking. I'd like to hear from you guys what you're thinking about. We have Google up 0.44%, but I think it's still on the downside because it's a bear flag which has broken down. That's my opinion. Let's look at Meta. Meta is up 0.39%, support at 636.48, and resistance at 651.47. Then we have Microsoft, which is up 0.58% in pre-market trades. It's got resistance at 399.62. And personally, I think that it's on a bear channel, and we have a target for it at 338.34. But all that could change if the paradigm that AI is going to create problem for software companies, that concept changes, and then all these packaged softwares can still function in the market regardless of AI. In that case, I think we'll continue to move upwards. But if that doesn't happen, we'll start moving downwards. So the critical test is at 4:30 p.m. this evening, whether we're going to continue the trend upwards or come down. Salesforce will be the biggest earning future projection that's going to impact this aspect of the market. We have Amazon up 0.66%. A kind of cup and handle pattern formation is taking shape, so we could potentially kiss goodbye to this really pessimistic target of $170. So carefully watching this. We have resistance today at around 211.84. Then we have AMD, which is up 0.51% in pre-market trades. It's going to get support from the 100-day exponential at 211.66, which is this line. And then it's going to get resistance at 217.99, which is this yellow line. Pre-market, we are up 0.50%. We are at 214.91. We have Apple, which is down 0.29% in pre-market trades. It's getting support from the 50-day exponential at 265.15. And we have Broadcom, which is up 1.15% in pre-market trades. It could get some resistance today, somewhere in the area of 334.25. And we have Tesla, which is marginally up at 0.36%. But I'm thinking that having crossed the neckline for the head and shoulder pattern, it's on its way towards, at the very least, towards 369.50. ARM Holdings is up 1.06%, and we have resistance at 129.89. Right now we are at 129.50. We will get very strong support at somewhere around 128.14. I'm going to mark this green. It's corresponding to the 100-day exponential at 127.75. So that's very strong support for ARM Holdings. So the downside is limited once we come closer to the support line, because it's going to bounce from there. But that support has not yet been confirmed. So today we want to close above this, and tomorrow we want to confirm it. So we'll allow for a few more candles to express themselves. But from all the other indications out here, bullish market sentiment, bullish MACD, and momentum above average with a little bit more room on the RSI for it to go up further, I'm thinking that the probability of confirming this line of support is much higher, and then from there we'll build a base and move up. SMCI is up 0.87% in pre-market trade. 50-day exponential at 32.36 is a resistance, and support today is at 29.95. Palantir is up 1.34% in pre-market trades. Resistance available very clearly at 132.16. And we have Tempus AI, which is down 1.64%, and it has got support at 55.55. SoFi is up 3.54%. There was a buy recommendation by Jim Cramer on CNBC that has given the boost out here. The market sentiment is still bearish, but improving. MACD is bearish but improving, and momentum is at around 30%, so it could pick up from here. Feeling a bit optimistic about SoFi. Oracle is up 2.11%, and it's expected to recover after almost 22-25% drop in this year so far, with a PE ratio of around 18.3%. So analysts are starting to rate it buy with a 98% upside potential. That's what analysts are saying. For that, what we want is for OpenAI to start showing a lot of financial strength, and they are trying to venture into many other areas. Sam Altman is making a lot of statement about OpenAI being able to replace software and all that stuff. So that could give a boost to Oracle if it becomes a bit sticky. SMH is up 1.07%. The diagonal line of support is going to be confirmed today if we close above 420.63, and we have a support today at 415.27. MP is up 2.34%. It has broken out of this pennant. So the next test for it is to break out of the 100-day and the 50-day exponential moving average. So it's going to encounter a lot of resistance at 60.19 to 60.45. That said, I would like to go to Genomics and have a look at what's happening there. Pfizer is down 0.22% in pre-market trades. And then we have Prime, which is flat in pre-market trades. It has got resistance from the 100-day exponential at around 3.86, and it has got support at 3.75, which is a 50-day exponential. And it's also got initial support at 3.81, which is the 200-day exponential. Next, let us look at Intellial, which is up 0.22% in pre-market trades, and it could get some resistance around 13.85. Right now, we're at 13.61. Caribou Biosciences is up 1.40%. There's a lot of positive hype about its allogenic CAR-T therapy, which is showing high efficiency. So it's time for me to take a look into Beam as well as Caribou Biosciences. So I'll work on that as and when I get some time and come out with a video for you guys. But I'm welcoming this bounce in Caribou Biosciences. Hopefully I get an opportunity to recover my money. And then we have Beam Therapeutics, which is up 0.65%. And it has obtained a $500 million loan from 6th Street Lending Partners to advance Ristocel. The initial draw is going to be $100 million with further funds tied to FDA approval. Now, this could be positive for the stock because that could give a signal that they're not going for any equity dilution. That is point number one. At the same time, it's also going to increase the financial leverage of this company. So the debt equity ratio is going to change for the worse. Higher financial leverage means better returns for the shareholder. That is when the company has got positive earnings and starts paying dividend. We have to see all of those things happen with regard to Beam. There is no dividend at this point of time. So I'm very curious to see how this is going to develop. And it will be a learning experience. We'll get to learn something new about the dynamics of a company which doesn't pay dividend, but which increases the debt equity and avoids equity dilution. So let's go to Altimmune, which is up 1.09%. I welcome any improvement. They are expected to post a loss of 24 cents a share when they come out with their earnings, which is going to be on 26th of March. But right now, this candle looks very bearish to me because there was selling pressure which brought it back down to rest exactly at 4.56, just below 4.56 or just above 4.56, which happens to be the 100-day exponential. And for today, the 100-day exponential is going to be the support, and the 50-day exponential at 4.65 is going to be the resistance. Then we have Editas, which happens to be flat in pre-market trade. It has definitely got support from the 50-day at 2.08, and the 100-day exponential at 2.29 is a definite resistance. Illumina has got no trades pre-market, but the 100-day exponential at 124.82 is a definite resistance, and the 200-day exponential at 117.57 is the support. CRISPR Therapeutics is up 0.95%, and our resistance has been converted into a support at 56.37. So I'm going to change that color to green. And today we want to close above 57.29 in order to confirm this support. Next, we have Allogene, which has got no trades pre-market, but it's looking very bullish indeed. And then we have Grail, which is down 0.50% in pre-market trades. The 50-day exponential and the 100-day exponential, as well as the 200-day exponential, are all on top of the current price, showing absolutely weak condition of this stock. Market sentiment, MACD, everything is bearish. And we have resistance today at 51.59. We'll get support at 44.95. So I'm going to mark 44.95 as a support out here. PSCB is up 1.20%, and we have this bear flag formation out here, and I want to see if it can break down further. We have a bear flag target, which is somewhere closer to 1.09. So the verdict is still out. We are watching for what happens next. RG is up 0.98%. The 50-day exponential at 29.95 is the resistance, and support is at 29.42, which is a 100-day exponential. Vertex is flat in pre-market trade. A lot of resistance going to be there at 494.04. Ginkgo Bioworks is up 2.14% in pre-market trades. Like the last 2 days when it was up but closed lower and created a red candle, I think a repeat performance is possible. Support is very strong at 9.37, which is a confluence of the 50-day exponential and a horizontal line of resistance. Both of this gives a very strong resistance to DNA, that is Ginkgo Bioworks. Eli Lilly is up 0.21%, still within the bullish pennant. We are watching carefully. Precision is up 0.79% in pre-market trades. 100-day exponential at 4.07 is the resistance. Ultragenyx is down 0.22%, and it's going to get some support at 21.55, and it will get resistance today at 24.09. So that takes me next to United Health. And in United Health, I see a gain of 1.37%. But I was thinking that it could be a reverse head and shoulder pattern. I'll have to take back that proposition. And we are also broken down below what could have been a line of support. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just wait and watch for more candles. Support is available at 269.04. Team has finally managed to make a turnaround. Is this going to be a trend reversal? We don't know. This morning, we are up 0.10%. This follows yesterday's gain of $2.37. That is 3.44%. So the narrative that AI is going to kill software companies, that got changed, and that's why we have seen this bounce. How long does this last? Everything again depends on the commentary from Salesforce and the outlook that they project. That said, let's go on and look at currency. Let's look at Bitcoin. So what's happening with Bitcoin? Bitcoin has fallen below this pennant. It's testing the resistance, which is the bottom of the pennant today. And it's testing it at 66,323.04. Right now we're at 66,034.08. Are we going to be able to break back into the pennant, or are we going to be pushed down by the pennant, which is a confirmed resistance? And then make our move down further following this diagonal line of resistance? That is a big question. We'll get the answers today. Well, friends, apart from that, I have MSTZ, which is negative today. I'm holding on a little bit. Let us see if this happens to be a bear flag and we start falling down further, which would mean that Bitcoin is going to go up. But I'm looking at the source, the underlying, which is Bitcoin. And out here, I see more pessimism as compared to what I see in MSTZ. So I'm going to go with the underlying, and I'll wait and see what happens. With that, my friends, I would like to end this live stream here. If possible, check out our Substack. It's absolutely free. Link to the Substack is in the description. And see you soon. Bye for now.